Hi, I'm Peter Fay, author of Into the Mythica. We live in a beautiful and magical world, a world of evolving and transcendent consciousness. It's a time of great change, and part of the Mythica project is to help you and the rest of the world learn to live better, more harmonious lives, to really take the steps on your own heroic journey to become the people that you are meant to be. All of us have big questions that sit within our mind and sit within our heart. Why are we here? What is our purpose? How can we be happy? How can I have more money? How can I have more love? How can I be of service to the world? What can I do to be aligned? At this time, there are lots of individuals who serve as ambassadors to the consciousness. Beings who teach techniques, yogas, in order to help people transcend themselves from one position to another. Beings like Michael Beckwith, Jack Canfield, Brendan Burchard, Oprah Winfrey, Eckhart Tolle, Marianne Williamson. From my point of view, each of these individuals is carrying an imprint, a puzzle piece to the nature of the process that helps us to become the brighter and cleaner and deeper version of ourselves. They offer us techniques for cleansing our body. They offer us techniques for cleansing our mind, for cleansing our heart. This is part of what I'm offering. This is what I'm here to help you with. We all want to live in a better world. We all do. We all want to figure out what it means to be human and to really enjoy our time here. And sometimes it's hard. A lot of times it's hard. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's exquisite. Sometimes it is like our life is a gift. That's one of the things that I'm really here to help beings see. That your life is a gift. And that the universe loves you. Loves you. And that divinity sees you in such beauty, such perfection. It's an amazing truth when you realize it. When one day you wake up and you're just like, oh my God, this is actually a gift. This is actually all for me. It's something that has to be experienced. You know, we talk about enlightenment, we talk about self-realization, we talk about revelations. Mine eyes have seen the glory. It's true. It's something that has to be directly perceived. Until you see it, it's not real for you. It's, at best, it's a mystery, and at worst, it's brutal. But underlying all of the questions that we have is a fundamental truth. And this is the truth I want to communicate to you today. Life is good. Life is meant to be good. Life is meant to be beautiful. Well-being, and by well-being I mean love, health, vitality, expansion, creativity, all of these, knowing your purpose, all of these things are your birthright. Your birthright. Maybe you're not seeing them right now, and that's okay. You know, there are times that I've asked the universe, I've been like, oh my God, why am I going through this? You know, why don't I know? Why am I confused? Why am I experiencing disharmony? And the simplest answer is this. If we were already perfected, there'd be no story. There'd be no adventure. There'd be no heroic journey. Take a moment, think about that. You are on a heroic journey to the revelation and the realization that you are a divine being. You are on a heroic adventure from disharmony, from illusion, from confusion, from distortion, to the realization that you live in a beautiful and magical world. What is it that we're talking about when we talk about realization? When we talk about awakening? When we talk about enlightenment? When we talk about your heroic journey? We're talking about the nature of the self. And what is the self? The self is our sense of personal identity. It's the sense of who we consider ourselves to be. But that changes. It changes from moment to moment. It changes from childhood to adulthood to ideally, wise old age. The self is the lens through which we view the world. The self is where you are at in your progression from ignorance to realization, from your movement from being a beginner to a Buddha. And I assure you, all of you are destined to be enlightened. It's in your nature. In fact, it could be said that you're already enlightened, but there are layers and layers and layers of debris, of clay, of confusion on top of the light that is shining inside of you. And that's a truth. That's a deep truth. You are a bright soul. You are a bright and awakened being whose lens is currently covered by dust or dirt or debris, or is currently bent in a direction that is not seeing things as they truly are. How do we see things as they truly are? How do we change our point of view so that we can see the world more clearly for the beauty that she is? How can we appreciate the gifts and the blessings that are in our lives? Why do we invoke gratitude? Why do we strive to be compassionate? What is the function of these things? This universe is good. It is the nature of divinity to be good. When we move against that goodness, knowingly or unknowingly, we create more dirt on our lens. We make our lives worse. This is the basis of ethics. This is the basis of right action. This is the basis of compassion, tolerance. It's the basis of love. This universe is based in love. The more we align with love, the more successful we will be, because we are aligned with the inertia of Source, of the way the universe really is. It's like gravity. Gravity is always going on. Goodness is always going on. Now you might say, well, I'm not experiencing goodness. I'm seeing all this bad. This is happening, that is happening. My life is happening this way. My life is happening that way. Yes. Why? Because the nature of the lens of your consciousness is not clear. And part of your journey, your heroic journey, is to learn to clean that lens, is to learn to align yourself with the nature of the flow of the universe. It's like being out of alignment with gravity. If you were to walk like this all the time, right, it would hurt after a while. You'd be out of alignment with the way things are. When we act in a manner that is unethical, when we act in a manner that is cruel, when we act in a manner that is not taking accountability for ourselves, we are denying our power, we're denying our truth. We are outside of gravity, and eventually it's going to bite you. When we eat poorly, when we don't take care of ourselves, when we don't treat our relations with respect, we're violating the fundamental law of the universe, that we are all one, that love is our truest nature. Underneath all of the distortions and all of the confusions, love is who we really are. And as we come to clean our lens and clean the defilements, take accountability for ourselves, we come to see this more and more. And guess what? Your life gets better because you are always moving through the vibrational reflection of you. When we look at the self elementally, we're looking at a vibrational sculpture that can be parallel to the lens of a camera. You're looking at a sculpture that is reflecting out the nature of itself into the field around it. This is a fundamental truth. You are a creature of vibration, a sculpture of light that is reflecting out everything about you into the field around you. Sometimes it's hard to see, but that has to do with where your awareness is at. Yet, like gravity, this is a constant truth. And the more we align with this truth, the more success we will have in the world. Something's going wrong in your life, there's a disharmony, there's this, there's that. That is something vibratory inside of you that you are experiencing in the outside world. You might not be able to see it, but just because something is there doesn't mean you can see it. It is the fundamental humility that we all need to look at. What is the difference between a seeker and a Buddha? What is the difference between someone who's unrealized and realized? What are you realizing? As we progress along the path, we come to realize more and more that everything is a reflection of ourselves. And yet, it is something that must be directly perceived. You have to feel it in your body, not in your mind. It's easy to theorize things. It's easy to have an academic viewpoint on something. But when you really embody it, you're really feeling it. That's when it's really real for you. That's when you're really able to make the changes that you want to make. All of the vibrational arts are about this. They are about aligning with the fundamental truth, the gravity, that you are love, that you live within the reflection of yourself, that you are accountable, and that you need to do the work on yourself to change the circumstances of your life. You need to change the vibrations inside of yourself. I'm here to help you because I've done it myself. And I'll tell you something, I'm still in process. It never ends. You know, there's no such thing as a master. Not really. How can you have a master in an infinite system? It's always getting brighter. There are new ideas, new yogas, new technologies that are happening now that were inconceivable 100 years ago. The world is changing, and as a result, all of us are changing with it. We can become skilled and adept, but we're always learning. We're always a student of life. There's always a new mystery. There's always a new adventure. There's always a new revelation. Part of our function is to help each other rise. Help each other rise to be the best people that we can be, the best version of yourself that you can be. I say this again. There is a beautiful, beautiful being inside of you There is a gift that is unique and yours to bring to the world, and you have value. You have so much value. The universe sees it. Do you? Because when you see it, when you have self-love, when you love yourself, you start experiencing the love that is waiting for you. This is the nature of the journey across the territories of consciousness that I call the Mythica. This is the nature of the heroic adventure that is the movement to the deepening of yourself, to the revealing of the light and the beauty that is your true self. This is the recognition of your purpose. This is the clearing of the lens of your consciousness so that you're no longer encountering the distortions that are preventing you from seeing the beautiful world that is there for you. I'm Peter Fay, and this is Into the Mythica. Thank you.